Good afternoon, everybody. Happy Sunday. Welcome to my kitchen. My name is Maria. You have wandered upon Mosaic Maria's channel if you've never been here before. And I usually cook or bake when I'm going to talk about tough topics. Is my meat not frozen? Let me see. I'm going to use a fork. Not unfrozen yet. Did I not defrost it enough? It's got a few crystals in it. It's fine. I'm just going to chop it with a fork first. So what I have here is almost a full pound of ground beef. And this is going to be a fake out beef stroganoff. Only I'm going to use elbow macaroni because I already made macaroni and cheese in the slow cooker, and that's getting about done. I'm just going to turn that on and let that go. It'll start to heat up. I'm going to chop it up with my little Mainstay Walmart chopper. Yeah, works good. Okay, so this will give me a chance to talk about the recipe. I know a lot of recipes say put olive oil or butter in with your ground beef. But this is 80-20. It's going to make juice and fat, and I'm going to leave that right in there. I'm not going to drain it. So I'm also going to make a roux that I've already got going in there. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. Okay, so I have a small to medium onion that I've chopped up in kind of like a chop, as you can see. And I have a container of bala mushrooms that I've chopped up right here. And then I have a little bit of thyme, which is going to go in. About a half of a teaspoon is going to go into that. And oregano, I'm going to use. And just a little salt and a little pepper, not a lot. I don't have Worcestershire sauce or like a red wine or anything, so I'm going to use balsamic vinegar, which is kind of like my go-to thing. And this I got at the dollar store, Clover Valley, for $1.25. It's really a nice balsamic vinegar, and it works really good. I have one little can of tomato paste, but I really don't want to break into it just for this, so I'm going to use just a little bit of just a smidgen of ketchup. And then for my beef broth, I've got 2 Herbox no sodium beef little packets that I've already scooped up into here. So in this cup, I have 2 cups of water and 2 packets of beef broth. And what else do I have in here? There's something else I put in here. I can't remember now. Oh, yeah. 1 tablespoon, heaping tablespoon of cornstarch, which is right here in my cornstarch bottle. Right? Into this, I'm going to use a splash of, so it's cornstarch beef broth with the water. And I'm actually going to put my balsamic vinegar in here too. And my ketchup. And a splash, not even 2 tablespoons of evaporated milk, which I used a 12-ounce can to make Trisha Yearwood's bubbling slow cooker pasta, which is really, really good. But I cut it's macaroni and cheese, but I cut her recipe in half, so I'll show you what it looks like. And you can get the recipe right out on anything. Just type in Trisha Yearwood slow cooker macaroni and cheese. So I had a 16-ounce box of elbows, and I decided I would just make the 8 ounces of elbow macaroni in here. Spray your slow cooker, and instead of doing a fourth of a cup of melted butter, I did 2 tablespoons. And instead of doing a whole 12-ounce can of evaporated milk, I held back a fourth that's going to go in my stroganoff. And instead of using 2 large eggs, I used 1 large egg. And I just cut down the amount of cheese. So I have macaroni and cheese going over there. So I have another half of elbows going on. So all is good. And I'm just going to leave that there and let it sit. So I have some elbows right here. I mean, I guess I could chop up some tomatoes and put it in there, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to use all of this. I'm making a whole bunch of meals out of this, so I did like a half, because it's just me here, and I usually send some over to a neighbor of mine. Like one neighbor. So that's a whole, 12 ounce of elbow macaroni already made up. And I have just a touch of olive oil in that. I'm going to let that sit and get to room temperature. So I'm going to be throwing it in. Not all of it. Some of it's going to become a tuna salad. So I'm kind of Sunday meal prepping. So my goal is to get rid of all my food every 2 weeks and make a few different things that I can freeze and meal prep them in little like 2 cup containers. And then, right now I'm just working on making a whole bunch of Christmas ornaments. I'm already making snowflakes. I'm already making angels. And yesterday, honest to God, I spent the entire day trying to make a circle and connect it and pull the circle shut. And those of you that crochet know you can chain a certain number of chains and then just connect into the first chain and then just pull it through. That wasn't happening for me. So I went to the magic circle, which is even easier, but it still wasn't working. And I literally spent 20 hours yesterday trying to make a circle. Woke up this morning, got right back to it, and I thought, you know what, I am videotaping this. So there will be a video coming soon of me trying to make a circle. And I don't know why my hands just wouldn't do it, but yeah. So this is my little angel that I took pictures of before, right? And I'm just calling her the angel in waiting. She is a angel for either a pregnant mom when they're pregnant or a mother praying for their children. That is what she is. Okay? I got the pattern at Around the Globe Crochet, and she's wonderful. She has her own Etsy site, and she designs all these angels. Today I'm working on one that has a little heart. It's called a St. Valentine Day, or just angel with a heart. You can make that heart any size you want it to be. Or you can make it any color you want it to be. And you can make it for any purpose. It doesn't have to be Valentine. It could be like, if you want someone to get better, or you just want to let them know you want them to get better, or you're sending love, or whatever. You're just giving them kindness. It's an angel with a heart. So that can make a good Christmas present and Mother's Day, and I think anybody would like a little angel in their house. Shower gifts, I think they're very nice gifts for when you find out someone's pregnant or someone's getting married. They want an angel in their home. If you're a lover of angels, then, My thing about angels is I'm a collector of angels, but I just don't want to be worshiping angels more than God ever. So I don't worship them, but I do collect them. So now I'm just making them. That way it feels more crafty. It is so hot in here. Any minute the air conditioning is going to go on. But my electric bill has been outrageous. Okay. Justin's been quite the pest. When I finally got my circle done, what did you do, Dustin? Yeah. You're in trouble today, aren't you? Mm-hmm. After 27 hours of trying to make a circle, which I've done a million times, there's my circle. I swear to God, it took me that long to make it. Okay, so my heart is going to be pink, and the angel's going to be white. I've got it planned. I've got a plan. I am going to assemble a sweater for a certain somebody. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm telling you. It's like, I really can crochet. Yes, I can. I've got another blanket going over here. It's a midwife blanket. It's for a baby. Called a midwife blanket. This one is done. The Tree of Life, Trees Breeze blanket is done. This beautiful sweater is done, but for the pockets, I still haven't put them on. So clearly, I don't like finishing projects. I start a million of them, but I don't like finishing them. 1222. It is. That's my thing. It's like, I don't like assembling. All right, so see how much fat this is made? No problem. I'm not going to worry about, I'm just going to keep chopping this down. This is what I call my runaway hot burner here. I won't talk about it too much because I always do. But once I start to see it browning like that, I'll just let it keep browning. I don't want to brown it too much. All the pink will be out of it by the time it's done. All right. That's one thing I can't stand is if it's still raw, it gets stuck in your chopper. I almost bought one of these at you know how friends and family always have these Pampered Chef parties? And everything's so darn expensive. I was like, I want to support you with your party. Let me find something I really need. I've never bought one of these. And I saw one at Pampered Chef. It was like under 15. It was the only thing under 15 that I could find. But by the time you paid, you know, shipping and handling and all that, it was crazy. So then I just looked on Walmart, and there it was, Mainstay meat chopper. $5. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm going with. Because it really does help make your, even with vegetables, I've used this with tomatoes, peppers. Sometimes you don't want to do all the chopping. Sometimes I'll chop the end of the pepper head off, and I'll rinse and pull the pith out. But I don't want to do all the chopping. It works on onions. If you cut your onion in quarter and get in there and just... It works with peppers. Try it. Tomatoes. Perfect, right? So I'm going to get my onions in there now. So it's going to be onions. And they're going to give more juice too. So, not worried. Not to worry. They're all going in. Yeah, Justin's been a little hard to take lately, my cat. He's been acting really strange. We have some people that have been moving a lot since June. A lot of changing of the guard, which happens about every 3 months. Either people go to Puerto Rico, or they go to Mexico, or they go wherever they go, Florida, whatever. And there's like this whole, everybody's moving, and you think people are really moving, and then, no, it's just a little quieter for a while. And then they all come back again with more people. And then, no, it is. And then this is also, you know, apartment living. And there's also people that come visit that stay for a little while, like maybe this summer they leave in the fall, or maybe they come for the holiday and then they leave again. So there's this constant moving, and it always happens at night, usually. At this time of year, kids are going back to college. Kids are getting apartments. You know, people are doing last-minute vacations with their family. And so Dustin is just not getting used to the door being propped and people going in and out all night, people driving in the courtyard and emptying themselves out early in the morning and at night. He'll just scream away. Alright, so I want to show you how it works on the onions. So if you didn't get your onions chopped enough, don't worry, you can mince them down with this. I never thought of that. I just thought, what do I need a meat grinder for? Right? But it chops it right up. Just... Okay, so obviously today I am doing a little bit of everything. I want to get the pockets on that sweater and it washed and blocked, because that never happened. I want to get the beginning of my heart angel made, at least, if not totally done. And I want to get my border sewn completely on my Tree of Life blanket. And for God's sake, I gotta put a pocket on another sweater and just whip stitch it together. That's it. I have figured out that part of my problem is when I go to end anything, like to finish off a baby blanket, an Afghan, anything, an ornament, snowflake, angel, anything, a hat, I will rip out and start over again. I will drive myself nuts starting over again. And I think it's just, I start making mistakes when I get to the end of a project. Okay, sorry for all the noise. So now I'm going to add a tiny bit. I was going over videos the other day of when I'm cooking and talking, and I always say just a little, not a lot. I was thinking that should be the name of my channel. I'm going to do a layer of oregano. Just a little, not a lot, right? And then I'm going to do a little bit of thyme. And with this, you really want to, if you have fresh, it's fine. But if you don't, just use that. Like maybe, I just find with beef stroganoff, it works better if you have a little bit. And so I'm going to just pour this out into my, actually I'm going to pick it up like this. No, I'm going to pour it right there. And I'm going to pick it up on top. I'm just going to do this. Even though it's hot, it's fine. I wanted that to be in my fingers, but I don't have two hands to show you. Okay, so I could even just open up the, just press the thyme together so it opens up the fragrant smell of it. Yeah, I think thyme definitely has to be in a beef stroganoff. And a lot of them will call for Worcestershire sauce or some kind of red wine, or depends, right? Whatever you have. So when I don't have red wine, I use red wine vinegar. Lately my thing is that little bit of dollar store. Okay, so you can see there's no pink. The onions are cooking. The mushrooms are going to give off a lot of juice. So I'm going to let it cook down. That's done. And I'm even going to chop down my mushrooms a little more. So I want to be able to see the mushrooms in here, but I don't want to see too many. I mean, I want it to be edible, like mouse-sized piece. I always say that when I'm cutting up broccoli, like, I don't want a tree in my mouth. Nobody wants to eat a tree. So I just sliced them in half and then use my handy chopper that I never had until about a month ago, which I think is great. I mean, I love it. It's like just walking around Walmart and, oh my god, $5? Really? $5? Like, Mainstay brand? $5? Like, okay, I was going to do that Pampered Chef one, but this one looks great. Keep going back, look for the sales. Get all of them. Yeah, but little mushrooms. Now, I have always been somebody that does low sodium to no sodium with everything, but I retain fluid no matter what. So I've asked my doctor, am I salt sensitive? Is my heart failing? Are my kidneys okay? What the hell would make a person fluctuate 7 pounds to 10 pounds within a night when they're not eating processed food? They're not eating sodium, and I literally keep my sodium below 1,000. Not enough sodium. So now I am generously going to add salt to dishes that say put salt in it. I might do less than, because I find a lot of recipes, for me, want too much cream, too much cheese, too much salt. So you can really get away with less. And there's a lot of things you can substitute. Like this calls for usually sour cream at the end I put in it. But I have a tiny bit of French onion dip that I've had from when I was doing like a vegetable platter. So I'm going to add that in. I'm just going to play with it. And I may not have to do a lot of salt because there's sodium in the ketchup. There's no sodium in the beef broth, but there is 160 milligrams in a tablespoon. So I think 160 milligrams is going to give it enough flavor. So I'm going to put my tablespoon right into here with my heaping tablespoon of cornstarch and my 2 no sodium. So that's about a tablespoon. That's what I'm going to say. Okay, that can go there. This can go here. I already used it. This I'm done with. That way. This I'm done with. Just gonna let it keep cooking away. And get my thyme out of the way here before my cat finds that too. It's been a little stinker. The pasta's going to thicken it too. So I've got it on medium-high. Keep going with it. Alright. I put oregano in it and I put thyme in it. I have some fresh parsley. I also have some Italian seasoning. I might do some garlic in a minute or two. A little bit. Not much. Okay, so just a splash, like a glug. That's good enough. Okay, so I'm all out of sour cream, I'm all out of cream cheese. I have that little bit of evaporated milk, which I don't want to put into that now that I'm thinking about it, because I don't want the vinegar to curdle it. So this should be interesting. So this is going to go in first and cook down in it. And then I'm going to add my evaporated milk that I have left. I'm going to check my macaroni here. Ooh, that looks so good. I love Trisha Yearwood's recipes. I've been really into Girl Meets Farm, Molly. And, I mean, there's nothing that can go wrong with Trisha Yearwood's recipes, ever. And for slow cookers, she's got a lot of really great ones. So I'm getting 2 meals done at once. I'm really not a big fan of eggs in macaroni and cheese. But it's more of a southern custard kind of way of making it. So it's all going in. just like that. And I'm just going to keep whisking it. This I'm done with. I'm going to throw some garlic in there. I don't know how much. Maybe a little bit. Maybe a lot. I don't know. I'm trying to get rid of odds and ends. If you didn't have sour cream and you didn't have evaporated milk, so basically this recipe called for 12 ounces of evaporated milk and 1.5 cups of milk. You could just make a roux with your milk and a little butter and, you know, if you didn't have it. Hang on one second. Gotta open this. Oh, that ain't gonna work. Oh, hang on one second. This'll work. Maybe not. I don't know. Okay. Still here. So, 1 teaspoon is 1 clove. So I'm going to use a baby spoon of this very carefully. That's what I'm going to do. And another little baby spoon. That's what I keep my little baby spoons for. Little bits of things. I don't like dragging out my measuring things if I don't need to. That's done. I like to put the garlic in at the end. Okay, so this will thicken up with the lid off. The cornstarch, a heaping tablespoon is in that cup with beef broth, with about a tablespoon of ketchup, with about a tablespoon of this here. Red wine vinegar. I use balsamic. You don't have to. You can use regular red wine vinegar. What else do I want to put in that? At the end, there's going to be parsley in it, but I want to get my evaporated milk in there too. So, I have evaporated milk. But you don't put it in until the end, so I'm going to put the pasta in first. I'm not going to use all the pasta. I'm just going to grab handfuls of it. Because what I'm having today is a tuna salad. And this will blow up more in the dish. You can use linguine, you can use fettuccine, you can use a big white egg noodle. But because I cooked up the whole box for the macaroni and cheese, I have it. A little bit more. My hands are clean, dry. And then just that splash of evaporated milk at the end. A little bit of parsley. Maybe a little Italian seasoning is going in next. And this will be done. And you can freeze it. It'll be fine. You can freeze it like this. You could freeze it without the macaroni in it. Add whatever macaroni you want. You could freeze it without any cream in it. I think I do want a little Italian seasoning because I want the majorium in it. Oh, do you gotta be way up there? Oh, Lord. This is the worst place to have my spices. I've been like, I'm gonna try to find a way to make it better. Really, I am. My up there. And they do. They get hot. And they're too high up. Okay, so just a little, not a lot of Italian seasoning. That's plenty. And into my macaroni, I have a little bit of, I have a tuna can, and I have a little bit of bacon and onion and mayonnaise. So I'm going to put a little bit of bacon, onion, and mayonnaise into their dressing. I got it on sale. It was like 2 for $3, and I never used that kind. So, and then the other thing I'm going to do is when I add the evaporated milk, I'm just using it man. So I have French onion, Wegmans. I'm just going to use a little teaspoon, and that will be fine. That will just mix and match. I like to mix flavors and things and play with it, see where I'm at. So far I haven't put any salt in it. There was, how much? 180 in the ketchup. That's it. But ground beef is already salty. So, I mean, I really watch my salt intake, so I get so pissed off at, you know, last week I was in my skinny jeans, swear to God. Last week, I was 7 pounds less than I am. Within 2 days, I went right back up 7 to 10 pounds. And I was eating salad, no carbs. I'm going back to eating carbs. I was my thinnest when I ate macaroni and cheese, when I made my own pizza, when I ate stews. I find that I gain weight when I eat rabbit food. Now, I did lose that 10 pounds when I was doing the Not So Jennifer Aniston famous salad with the bulgur wheat. But the thing is, it had feta in it too. So I was worried about the sodium with that. But if you just do a little bit. And then the garbanzo beans give you protein and fiber, and so does the bulgur wheat. I do have some bean sprouts I want to use up, but I don't know. I bought bean sprouts to go in my salad, and I'm a salad person. I absolutely love salad, but I think it hangs out on my body as water. And then I think that I'm naturally dehydrated a lot. Just living upstairs where I live in the heat, I can just take on a lot of fluid. So this is looking really, really good. And the cornstarch is really helping it to have that shimmer that you want. It's beginning to smell like beef stroganoff. And I would turn the heat off when you put your evaporated milk in and just let it do its thing. If you have any cream dressing, like a ranch dressing, this tends to get hot too fast, so I'm just going to let it calm down. And that was on low. So I don't want it to curdle, so I'm not going to put anything in it right now. Maybe I should have drained that little bit of fat out. I don't know. I'm about ready to taste it any minute. This burner just is pathetic. It's my runaway crazy-ass burner. I don't even have the heat on. It just doesn't turn off. It goes forever. Alright. Once it calms down, I'm going to taste it. I want to see if it needs something. If you don't taste, you don't know. You shouldn't eat a whole bowl of it, right? Let's see where I'm at. Get a little bit of everything. You gotta let this cook down because the cornstarch is in there. It's gotta thicken just a little bit more. The cornstarch is gonna give it that glossy, shimmery that you want. I'm gonna taste. Nope, it's too hot to taste. And I'm not gonna put salt in it until I know it actually needs it. What do I want to put in you? A little black pepper. Oh, not that much. Wait a minute. I can fix it. I can fix it. Take that right out. Ugh. Not too much. Yeah, a little bit. Not a lot. I forgot that one opens really. It's got the big holes in it. I have my little ones that I grind, and then that one opens too fast. A little bit of salt. When I say a little bit, I mean a pinch and a pinch. Like not even a full pinch. Okay? because I'm still going to put the evaporated milk in it and a little bit of that French onion dip. So far I've got 180 milligrams of sodium, and a pinch is 400 to 500 milligrams of sodium. All right. So, what do I have here? Let's see. Barely a little bit. Barely a little bit. And here is a little bit of evaporated milk. So, that's what I have left of the evaporated milk. I have the heat off. So, Trisha Yearwood's slow cooker macaroni and cheese called for 12-ounce cans, so that's how much I held back. That's not bad. All right. And this evaporated milk is going to make it nice and creamy and yummy. And then just to zippity-doo it up, I'm going to add just a little bit, like maybe a couple of those little baby teaspoons of French onion dip. Where's my little rubber spoony spoon? Oh, you don't have to do this. I have lots of little baby spoons. I kept them all. Got all my kids' baby spoons. All right. So there's some French onion dip. And there's some, because this can, so just what's left in here. So that's probably about 3/4 of a teaspoon. But it's going to make all the difference in the world. I tried this one time. I was out of sour cream. Now, why I would have chip dip in my house instead of sour cream, I don't know. Other than I do sometimes buy chips and eat them and dip them, but mostly I use it for vegetables, like radishes. I love radishes, carrots, celery, broccoli. So I will dip that in my French onion dip. That might be my weight problem. I mean, I'm thinking about it. But it's absolutely beautiful. And I turn the heat just on low, simmer, just to let that thicken. I am going to put a touch of paprika in it. You don't need paprika. Most people don't put paprika in their stroganoffs, but I like to make mine a little like a goulash, so I'm just going to do a little on the top, not a lot, and it's going to add back to the color I'm looking for. So I'm all about mixing and matching my spices. When you're not quite using wine, you're not quite using sour cream, you're not quite using tomato paste. So this will give it a little bit of depth, and if the evaporated milk made it look too, yeah, that's the color it is. So it's really done. It's beautiful. All right, it's done. So almost 30 minutes. Not bad. Not bad. What I would do different? Nothing. I'm going to keep it on low and let it just, I'm just going to put the lid on the side of it like this and let it just cook down a little bit. And that's the end of it. Over here, and then I have, I don't know, I might put my French dip in my tuna fish. I'm going to get rid of this container today. Now I have a few little black olives left. I might throw that in with my tuna, with some carrot and celery with my macaroni. That will be my dinner. And that'll be a protein, a little bit of carb. I'm going to turn this off and show you how beautiful it is. Oh my goodness. And it has, like, underneath is really nice and golden brown. I got a shadow so you can't really see. Let's see if I can flip it so you can see. Ooh, ooh la la. Why did it burn on one side? What the? I'm telling you, my kitchen is freaking slanted. Well, that's okay. You know what? Because I like this taste. It's going right here. It's going to me. I like all things burnt, so it's fine. And I did spray this, but I'm on a slant, so, but it's perfect. It's got the nice little, I mean, I wouldn't go that burnt with it. That's fine. It's coming to me. And the rest of it is just kind of golden brown and supposed to be custardy. It's too light in here. Too much light. Got a shadow. And it's underneath my cupboard, so it's hard for you to see the color. Alright. It's still, you're not going to see, it might click in eventually. Right now it just looks white. But it's just delicious. And obviously, I should have rotated my insert, which I've never had to do before. I know I sprayed the bejiggers out of my pan. But it's beautiful and it tastes delicious, so don't worry about it. Okay, I'm not worried. I'm just going to eat it a little burnt. Well, that's the beautiful part of the rice and the macaroni is when it, and brownies and lasagnas, when you get that little corner piece. That's okay. It's a little bit over burnt for my liking, but it'll be okay. I'm going to taste it. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, I think I took off part of my side of mine. I wouldn't go that burnt. Okay, it's good. But if you have a slanted kitchen, I swear, one of these days, the whole kitchen's just going to slide into a sinkhole. I'll just be like, bam. So over here, everything leans to the right. Over here, everything leans to the left or the right, depending on which way. Kind of a big slant. So the slow cooker Trisha Yearwood recipe, I just held back that little splash of evaporated milk. That's enough to stroganoff a beef stroganoff. And my egg, my extra large egg was really large, so instead of using 2, I used 1. Instead of using a half of a stick of butter, a half of a half, like a fourth, I used 2 tablespoons. I didn't put any salt in it at all. I didn't salt my pasta water. I know, cardinal sin, but I mean, I really have been trying not to have anything too weird. That is done. I'm gonna taste that one too. See where I'm at. Clean spoon. And I am fine. I'll taste the sauce. I don't want to burn my tongue. This is really good. I would let it cook down just a little more on low and just give it a stir. Because it's going to thicken up more. That little bit of French onion dip and the paprika made all the difference. And that tiny pinch of salt for the whole damn thing. A pound of ground beef and the balsamic vinegar really is good in it. You don't taste vinegar, you taste, it tastes like you had a red wine. It's no, you know, there's no problem with it. It's just don't be afraid to use your red wine vinegars. And with this, I would say, I don't know. If you have a situation where it's slanted, rotate your insert like every hour. It's just 3 hours and 15 minutes. And if one side is starting to feel sticky or weird, because I'm all for that kind of brown. But that kind of brown is too dark. Way too dark. I mean, it's edible for me. I'll eat it, but somebody else wouldn't like that burnt. I don't think so. You're not supposed to stir it at all. So it's fine. It's good. That's what I cooked today. I got a little cleaning to do. And it is now 80 degrees in my house, so I'll probably turn the air conditioning on once I turn the stove off. Yeah. I seriously couldn't make a circle. I think it's 27 hours later. I've still been making the same circle. My hands are just used to knitting right now, and they don't want to go back to crocheting. And I've been working with chunky yarn, a chunky 5, and big knitting needles. So my hands literally have to get used to the tiny, tiny thread and the tiny, tiny needle again. But I'm convinced that a lot of handcrafters will not show you their mistakes and how many times when they begin a project they might have to rip out. So I'm uploading it just to show you what I finally came up with to keep my channel very true. Okay, I'm going to go get some air. It is so hot. Have a nice day. Have a nice Sunday. I hope you have a beautiful Sunday. And I hope you'll try these recipes. And I'll leave the links for them. Well, actually, I'll give you my recipe. I'll write it out for the beef stroganoff. But I used a linked recipe, which I think is on Facebook, that I put on Facebook. I'll just have to go grab it and put it in the information. Thanks for hanging with me. I hope you'll try some of these Sunday quick dinners that you could just drop in the crock pot or cook up on the stove in less than 30 minutes with, not always what the recipe calls for, just little things you have in the cupboard that are delish. I hope you won't burn your macaroni and cheese like I did. Okay, that's all. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Peace.